Oh, hey, what's up? It's Dominic D'Angelo. It's a Tuesday. It's Rumor and Innuendo, and I'm here with Mr. Robert Carpless, WD Creative _ish, to talk a little pro wrestling, particularly WWE Raw. Robert, how are you feeling today, man? Uh-oh, you're muted.
Literally just sat down 2 seconds ago as the countdown was going on, so I made it just in time. Glad to be here. And yeah, we're talking Monday Night Raw. And now Marty wants to join.
Marty is too. Marty's talking too. We'll say hi to some folks in the chat here in the meantime.
Yes.
We got Cammy Star saying after morning, guys. Wanna breeze? Jeff Henninger says hello, R&I. Did Dom lose the IC title because of Finn or Danhausen hurt? Ooh, we will be discussing that. And then we have Wrestling Old Head saying good after morning all. Maybe it was Danhausen who cursed the Vision. Interesting. Danhausen's all over the place. Slushy and Dome YouTube says, yo ass better call my mom back. You haven't since 2001. Uh-oh. I don't know what that's reference to. Slushy landed.
This is what happens when I let Dom read comments. He doesn't scan.
I'm like Ron Burgundy with the teleprompter.
You literally are. You just read anything in front of you. Dre Owen says, hello, R&I. Triple Threat at Mania, Mr. Iguana, Danhausen, and Dom Mysterio. Look, there's only one Dom that belongs in a match that terrible, and it's Dominic D'Angelo.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you, Robert. What a compliment.
Yes.
All right. Well, Robert, yes, we did have Monday Night Raw. It did take place after Elimination Chamber. Did stuff come to fruition for you that you thought was beneficial, or what do you think overall of this episode?
So what's so weird about Raw? So I watched Raw today. Actually, I watched it this morning. Last night I was at a post BRCW dinner event with some of the fine luminaries of Boca Raton Championship Wrestling. Got to spend some good quality time with Mr. Matt Riddle, which is always a treat. But so I literally watched it this morning. Gun to my head, do not remember 80% of Raw. So I'm pulling up my notes right now, which, by the way, not a great sign. I think the big thing for me in this episode was we talked about yesterday three key factors. One was the notion of whether or not Seth Rollins was actually going to be cleared based on the nomenclatures that they used. The second was, are they going to get out of their own way in this CM Punk Roman Reigns feud? And the third is, how many times will they push the panic button? And it seemed like the panic button was getting a workout last night, Dom.
Did, and it seemed like the panic button wasn't really working either at the same time. Like, just thought some things got set up all right, but other things are just still confusing. And some of this stuff,
a lot of like we're trying here very, very hard, and it's kind of like, are you a Marvel Cinematic Universe guy?
To an extent, yeah, a little bit.
So there's a scene in Endgame. Not giving a spoiler from a 7-year-old movie. There's a scene in Endgame where they travel back to other scenes from other movies, and they're trying to make it seem like it was cohesive. Mm-hmm. And that was what this Vision promo at the beginning was. That, the plan all along was we were getting to this Seth Rollins feud. The story all along was that Seth stole Paul Heyman's credit for the Vision, and that he stole credit for the creation of the Shield. What?
Yeah.
That was never the story. The story was Seth created the Vision, and he didn't get the job done, and that they had no choice but to take him out. That he was the weak link of that triumvirate now of that stable. That was a compelling story. That Seth's out for revenge because these mercenaries that he pulled together did to him what he did to Roman and Moxley a million years ago. Dean Ambrose, I apologize.
I don't know.
Then all the different guys in masks coming out, which is just like, is Seth going to the store and buying these masks? Is he getting them in bulk online? Is this a Temu situation? I don't know. I also don't. I forgot how stupid this was. Literally in the middle of me saying it, I forgot how dumb this was. Mm-hmm. So I'm terrified that they decided to take out Paul Heyman. Yeah, because that means the guy who's telling this story, or at least trying to make this make sense, is off television because he got curb stomped. He got hit with a chair. And then the ambulance, this would pop me, is being driven by LA Knight.
I was all right with that, though.
This was
Kind of.
by far the stupidest thing I think I've seen in wrestling this year.
Where do you think he took it, Robert?
Knowing LA Knight, they told him to turn right, and he probably turned left and slammed into a wall.
Oh, boy.
Wrestling Old Head brings up a very good point here. Said Brock's not going to be happy about that attack. He's not going to be happy with that attack for two reasons. One, Paul Heyman's going to have to be off television.
Mm-hmm.
At least because he took the devastating curb stomp that used to, murder people, and he got hit with a chair. If he's back next week and he's fine, we're in like AEW territory of I hit you with a cinder block, but you'll be fine. And that means that Brock has to be the one to do the open challenge stuff versus going after the people who genuinely attacked him, who was driving that ambulance, Dom?
That's right. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Could we see Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins? Is that what we're going to get?
What do you think we're getting?
Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins?
No. The rumor had always been that we were going to get LA Knight and Brock Lesnar. And the fact that LA Knight was driving the ambulance, maybe that's what we're going to get.
I don't know, though. I would...
You're by the way, you're back to being blurry and laggy. I don't know what's going on over there.
Can you guys see me all right? Can you see me all right? Let me know.
On my side, he looks very blurry, very laggy.
Yeah, I look fine.
Maybe Danhausen has cursed our feed.
Domhausen cursed me. Dang it. No. I would be more. I think I would, if anything, it would be Seth versus Brock if he's healthy. But I don't know. Maybe
Seth versus Brock doesn't make any sense.
But has anything made sense though at this point?
Right, but the fact that you're going to do Logan and Austin Theory versus Seth and Devin Dowling suggests what I have been saying, which is Bad Bunny would be the most interesting person.
Yeah, but
in theory, but
are you going to heat him up? Can you get him? Like, that's the question.
Yes, they absolutely can get him, and they can make it work. Gunther beat Dragon Lee.
Yes.
Did that work for you, Dom?
Yeah, I think it did. I think the aspect of like him ripping the mask off makes him more of a terrible person. And, the crowd was really into it too. So I think that helped a lot. And, so it's fine, but it's like he still shouldn't be where he's at right now. He should be on a higher level on the card.
By the way, for what it's worth, I'm checking the feed. You're blurry and laggy, like all get out. So
I don't get it. Let me exit and enter back. I'll be right back.
Best part of the show. Dom vanishing for a few moments. The whole point of the Gunther Dragon Lee segment felt like you were setting up Gunther versus Rey Mysterio. Otherwise, the fact that the only person who's defending the honor of AJ Styles, and by default defending the honor of the guy defending the honor of John Cena, was Dragon Lee, feels like a weird misstep. Gunther beating Dragon Lee pretty definitively, even with the Dragon Lee interference to attack Gunther to at least try to make it an even match. Gunther just beat him. It wasn't like there was something so egregious and terrible after where somebody needs to go in there and stop Gunther. The guy who is a former world champion who absolutely should beat Dragon Lee went out there and beat Dragon Lee. So the narrative tension in that story is totally gone. As is the blur that Dom was dealing with before. He's back. AJ Lee comes out for a promo for some reason. And just is a lot of like, hey, Becky, I beat you. There's people who want a shot at me. She used the word snatch a lot. And we're going to get a match, I guess, at Mania.
A challenge.
With
accepting
women.
All challengers.
Yes.
Challengers. Yeah, what do you... Is that all right? I mean, I don't know. I'd much want more of a story than just, hey, we're taking challengers and there's a line waiting out Adam Pearce's door, basically. But that's kind of what we got.
Full transparency. This is what's insane. On the Netflix gimmick, I go back to go watch Raw.
Uh-huh.
All the commercials are fully embedded in there, even though I'm paying for not commercial Netflix, whatever. And you can't fast forward. So you get stuck with 8 commercials. And I finally just said, to heck with this. And I used Scott Chaplin's North Korean spy satellite connection to start watching it. So you get the international feed of Raw.
Yes.
And there was a Natty promo. I don't know if the Natty promo aired domestically or not. Did it?
I don't think it did. Mm-hmm. I used the Scott Chaplin method too. So
she delivered a fantastic promo. that was basically pointing out for years I was a badass pretending to be a bimbo. And Maxine, you are a bimbo pretending to be a badass. And the biggest mistake I ever made was letting you into my training facility in the first place.
Ooh, see, that's good stuff. Let's get more of that instead of, I don't know.
So it's like I feel like you're setting up that we're going to get this four-way match involving AJ Lee at some point in time. We did get El Grande Americano versus Rayo.
Rayo, yes. And El Grande Americano, the original, he happened to get the win, Robert. Were you all right with this match? Shocker.
Look, this is fine storyline advancement. We're clearly building to this mask versus mask whatever thing. I did think it was interesting that the original Grande Americano and Penta had a little interaction. And I kept thinking, oh, no. Penta's taking on Dom. There's no way they'd be dumb enough. And then they were dumb enough. And we'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
We will get there.
Rusev and Obafemi had a showdown. What'd you think of that?
I like that. I think it's a good way to showcase Oba, obviously, and a kind of good way to bring back Rusev up to maybe a bigger level than what he's been at typically. So I liked it.
They treated Rusev with a certain degree of respect, that it was going to be I'm calling out Obafemi. I'm not scared of him, and we're going to brawl. And Oba getting the best of him in the brawl was okay, because we're still going to get the match, and there's a story to be told. But it's a little too late with what's going on with Rusev. Like, I don't quite understand why they go and bring Rusev in and then not utilize him fully. It's not like he's been hurt. Like Sheamus, I get they bring him on, then he gets hurt, and then they bring him on, and then he gets hurt. Rusev's been healthy and sitting at home.
Yeah. I don't understand that aspect of it all. Maybe there's another story to it all, but who knows? But I think right now, I think it's a good way to heat up Obafemi a little bit, get him in the mix, and then get Rusev back in the mix too. It's almost kind of in the way they should have been handling Gunther in certain manners. About how I think
Rusev. There's a lot of folks where I'm trying to make heads or tails of why and how they're handling them. I had said when all this stuff with the Vision happened, like, well, all right, what's the best use of Logan and Austin Theory to heat them back up? I said put the tag titles on them. We got Jimmy Uso versus Austin Theory. Logan Paul interferes, and out comes Jey Uso. So looks like I may be getting my wish, and my guess is that that's going to be a Raw match.
I would think so, right? I don't think.
Oh, you're blurry again.
What the heck? I don't know what's going on. I'm connected.
It's like it's the end of Back to the Future. You did something to prevent your parents from meeting, and now you're slowly fading. And I don't know the chords to Earth Angel. I know it's a blues riff in B, and then I should be watching you for the changes.
Do you think one of the band members will call Chuck Berry about me?
Yes, it's Marcus D'Angelo. You know that terrible podcast you've been trying to listen to? You can't listen to this because Dom forgot to upload it. Look, I'm here mainly for Back to the Future references. That's all you're getting out of me.
I liked it. That was some quality stuff, Robert.
Good. I'm glad that the entire show led to that quality stuff.
That was
Speaking of quality stuff, Adam Pearce is in the back, and who shows up? But Danhausen.
Danhausen does show up, and he sees the Judgment Day, and he curses Dom Mysterio. I like this handling of Danhausen. I think this was a good follow-up, honestly, Robert.
This is what we said. If you're going to use the guy, small doses and introduce him in strategic manners. The way they brought him out of the Elimination Chamber was god-awful. This, a quick little, he's annoying to Adam Pearce, and then he is a thorn in the side of Judgment Day. Totally works for me. Penta and Dom, the finish was that Finn Balor would not let JD interfere with a hammer to help Dominic Mysterio. So we're getting the Finn Balor Dom feud in the most bass-ackwards way possible.
And it's unfortunate, I think it's not for the Intercontinental Championship.
That's what I meant by that, Dom. Yeah. That the idea would be that they don't listen to Finn, they're listening to Dom. They excommunicate Finn for failing where Dom wins, and then this unlocks the demon. And then we get a great demon Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio match. Instead, it kind of feels like we're going to get some kind of cockamamie. This might be the ladder match, and we'll get Penta versus El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano versus Finn versus Dom versus
no.
Snitsky. I don't know.
Yeah, Snitsky comes. Wow. Yeah, that would get that. That's a panic button right there. Is getting Snitsky out there.
Penta winning the title was a panic button. They did not seem to have faith in doing a Finn Balor Dominic Mysterio one-on-one match.
I don't understand that. Like, I think that's great. I think that's WrestleMania worthy for sure.
Right, but I think that they just needed a way to kind of push a bunch of guys onto the show. Then we got the main event, and that is not at all why I'm yawning, but slightly related to probably why I'm yawning.
Okay.
CM Punk talks about how he's tired because he's got the bags under his eyes because he has to carry the show in this stupid story. These are two creative minds. These are two smart men. The main event storyline of WrestleMania, in case you're wondering, is Roman Reigns has limited dates, so he will not show up every week. So CM Punk has to single-handedly carry this feud, and that is why he is tired. While Roman will point out that CM Punk publicly talks about how much he loves being back in the company, but privately hates everybody, hates working here, hates working house shows, and is lying to fans.
And on top of it, too, he's specified for the 30 to 40-year-old virgins that live with their parents.
Yes. You're here for merch, and the only reason you're champion is because they had to go with a creative audible, not because you won the title. Also, you didn't want me in the Shield because you tried to use your creative power. And Punk's like, yeah, I'm going to bury you.
Like your father.
Dom, I hate this. Like, I'm also scared of all this Rhea Jade stuff.
Yeah. That's another can of worms right there. But I mean, with Punk and Roman, I was all right if they set it up a little bit inside baseball-y, but they needed to venture away from it to a good extent, and they didn't do that. They just dived more into it, and it does not. While the exchange between these two, I love listening to both. Like, Punk is great on the mic, so is Roman, but like the content that they're talking about is not palpable for what you're trying to promote for WrestleMania.
It's too behind the curtain. It's too inside baseball for your main event story, where it should be Punk is the champion, Roman's the guy who wants to regain his title, and we're done.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you really need. Tony Gong mentions this too. I'm checked out of this feud. Can you imagine Stone Cold and The Rock feuding over tweets? What are we doing here?
By the way, I can if it was storyline related tweets, not real life tweet. Like if it was Rock saying like, hey, remember when you walked out on the company because you didn't like the creative? Well, you're not going to like the creative in the match that I just pitched.
Yeah. Well, I don't get it. I couldn't even imagine Austin, Stone Cold, Steve Austin, checking Twitter. He's not doing that. Like, I don't think that would happen.
Again, you're Steve Austin and you're Hank Hill are the same.
Damn it, Bobby.
But Bobby. Well, damn it, we're gonna wrap this sucker early because Dom's back to blurry lag town. So we'll get this fixed tomorrow, I promise. But we'll be back tomorrow as we are every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on a plethora of platforms, including WWE Creative _ISH X account, the @Dominic D'Angelo X account, the @SE Scoops X account, and on the YouTube on Podcast Heat and Studio One Sports. So on behalf of the blurriest man in wrestling, Dominic Bigfoot D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpelis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Me and Loch Ness, we're tight.
Shh.